Good evening and welcome to the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net, the most interesting net in two-way radio. Tonight we are live from Studio Vanguard and we are linked in with the following repeaters.
Oh, there's a list of repeaters.
Who's doing the repeaters?
We should follow.
Anybody reading them?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
It just took me a second to get the list up. Tonight we are live on Flagship, Zebulon, Watkinsville, Jersey, Buckhead, Lula, Noonan, Toccoa, McDonough, Columbus, Rome, Cades Cove, Peachtree, White Oak Mountain, Lookout Mountain, Fort Mountain, Chattanooga, Mount Roosevelt, Georgetown, and Ottawa.
Awesome. This net takes place every Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. I would like to thank all of you who have made the North Georgia GMRS the most expansive and active GMRS network in the country. Your net control tonight is Atlanta 947, WQYR 514. My name is Julie.
And WQYR 514, Atlanta 946. My name is Justin.
And this is WRZV 748, Atlanta 1150. My name is Tony.
And WRUB 711, Atlanta 519. My name is Gary.
Well, we've got a freedom salad around here somewhere.
Yeah. He's hiding.
On the net, you can talk about your day's activities, radio equipment, or anything you think we'd like to hear. This is a family-based network, so we encourage you to get your family involved. Guest check-ins are welcome from anyone with a valid FCC call sign. Once the floor is open, it is permissible to address other members of the net by their name or tactical unit number. Your FCC call sign is only required when you sign in and when you sign out of the net. Also, you can tune in to our YouTube channel and follow along, or even better, tune in after the net to hear your appearance on the network. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment so we know you are watching. These interactions mean the most to help our channel grow. So tonight we are going to talk about what, gifts?
Yeah, holiday gift ideas. Black Friday is right around the corner, and it's a great time to start thinking about holiday gifts.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, with that, I think, are we doing announcements?
Well, that would be the next thing up, but we've lost our salad bowl.
Oh, boy.
He was looking at his phone when you came in here, so
I hear some footsteps.
I'm thinking that...
He's here.
He's here.
All
right. We're going to swap seats, right?
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to do a little chair shuffle here.
Musical radio chairs.
Yeah.
Stand by while I find the announcements.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing, too.
Maybe one of these.
Let's see.
So just a reminder, tonight's topic is holiday gifts.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about
Right
that
here
while
as well.
Mike's getting that ready. Holiday gifts. Black Friday has been going on for like maybe the last 3 weeks, if you see all the advertisements. But holiday gifts, be thinking about what you want to talk about. Mike?
All right, I'm ready.
You ready?
Uh-oh. Well,
I was ready.
Thought he was ready.
Now I'm ready. All right, we've found the announcements. Good evening, everyone. This is Atlanta 1150. My name is Tony. Oh, wait. Wait a second.
You forgot to change the title. You were reading the mic, not me.
This is Blue Ridge 63. My name is Mike with this week's news and announcements live from Studio Vanguard. In an ongoing effort to find and eliminate the intentional interference affecting NGGMRS and other radio bands and groups, a $2,000 reward has been offered for information leading to an FCC action related to the intentional interference that's been happening on the network. That'd go a long way towards upgrading your station. If you have any information, please send it to Gary at nggmrs.org or Justin at nggmrs.org. As far as events coming up, first one kicking off 2026 is the GARS Tech Fest. This is a free annual event geared specifically towards amateur radio enthusiasts. This event provides a great opportunity for individuals to learn about the latest developments in amateur radio, share knowledge and experience, and network with other amateur operators. Attendees can expect to see demonstrations of various types of equipment and to attend presentations and workshops on a variety of topics. This event is great for anyone who's interested in ham radio, whether you're a seasoned operator or you're just getting started. Attending the GARS Tech Fest is a great way to learn more about the hobby, make new contacts, and discover ways to use amateur radio. So if you're passionate about that or you want to learn more and stay up to date on the latest advancements, then the GARS Tech Fest is for you. They will be offering amateur radio licensing testing from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's $14, cash only, no Venmo, Amex, PayPal, Cash App, or anything else. Cash only, $14. You can get, is it all 3 license classes? Do you know?
Yeah, I believe it is.
So if you are first time testing for your tech, you can get that done. Then knock out your general and go all the way to extra.
Go all 3.
Yeah, do it
Just
all.
do it.
Do it all.
I don't see why not.
So
At least try.
Yeah, at least
It's
try.
not gonna
At least
hurt
try.
anything.
It's included in the $14. So again, that date is January 31st. You got a couple months. Get it on your calendar. Some other upcoming gatherings to tell you about this week that are right around the corner. Pay attention. Write these down. Put them in your calendar if you're interested. These meetups are a great way to meet fellow members in and around your area. Let me break. First one up is the Chattanooga Radio Luncheon. Right around the corner. It's tomorrow. Is that tomorrow? November 21st at noon at Champy's in Ringgold.
That is tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So if you're in the Chattanooga region, Champy's Restaurant at 6515 Ringgold Road in Chattanooga is the place to be. On the Georgia side, the Kennesaw Gathering will have their next Meet and Geek on Tuesday, December 9th at noon at the Old Town Grill on Cobb Parkway, their usual hangout, right around the corner from the McCollum Airport in Kennesaw. Bring your radio or Meshtastic programming issues if you need any help getting those fixed. They'll have a mobile test bench available after lunch where Ed and the team can help you test and program at least a lot of the more popular radios or help you get your Meshtastic node up and going. Reach out to Ed, Atlanta 557, beforehand on the air or via email. His email is WRQG806@gmail.com if you're planning to attend so that he knows to hold enough seats and they can try to have the right programming cables available. The Northeast crew will be having their lunch meetup for December a few weeks early because of the holidays. The next meetup is Wednesday, December 17th at 11 a.m. at Rooster's Cafe in Dahlonega. Of course, all future and current NGGMRS and NGARA members are welcome. Stop by and have some good laughs and good food with a bunch of really good people. Contact Bobby, Atlanta 403, or Joe, Gainesville 44, if you need more information. Again, that date, Wednesday, December 17th. Next up, the Peachtree Corners Brunch Bunch. They meet every month on the third Saturday at JR's Log House in Peachtree Corners at 6601 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. It's always a great time. Their next event will be Saturday, December 20th. I believe it's at noon.
I believe it's at noon.
Is it noon?
Yeah.
They had a great meetup for the November brunch. They celebrated their first year anniversary of meeting up. Pamela says that there are so many members who have become great friends, and they want to thank everyone who made it happen because they couldn't have done it without you. So JR's Log House Restaurant, Saturday, December 20th. If you have questions, send an email to Pamela at skygazerpamela849@gmail.com. Let her know you're coming, and she'll save you a spot. Let me jump down a little ways. Have you heard about the latest project? Surely you have at this point. North Georgia. Have you heard?
I've heard.
You've heard?
Something about it.
Something. North Georgia Amateur Radio Association is just getting started. Let me break. I was just getting started with an announcement. We have 5 repeaters on the air now, with 2 more planned by year's end, and 3 to deploy in 26. 5 plus 2 plus 3. I'm going to have to use some toes. That's 10. 10 repeaters by the time 26 gets around. You must have an amateur radio license to become a member, but if another radio mode interests you, then visit ngara.net for more information. Back on the GMRS side, renewal season is here. Now's the perfect time to renew your North Georgia GMRS membership, or you can become a member of the North Georgia ARA. Either way, new memberships will carry you through the remainder of 25, just as renewals will be good for all of 2026. Current memberships will expire December 31st of this year, regardless of your date of sign-up. If you're not sure, what do you do about it? You can check the membership roster on the website, nggmrs.org, and it will show your name and the year 2026 in orange if you are good through 2026. If you have any questions, send an email to gary@nggmrs.org. And finally, just a quick programming note as the holidays approach and get underway. There will not be a net on Thanksgiving, on Christmas, or on New Year's Day. That's right. We are taking 3 days off this year.
We get 3 days?
3 days. And you still
That's
get
nice.
your regular pay.
I get regular pay. That's
Regular
good.
pay.
I was hoping I wasn't going to get it deducted
There
for
is
that.
there is no cut. Whatever you
Thanks,
get,
Justin.
Whatever you
Yep.
get now, you're going to keep getting it.
All right.
And I think that's it. If you have any questions, comments, news to share, send an email to justin@nggmrs.org. And Julie, I'll hand it back to you.
All right, good stuff. Thanks for that, Mike. Appreciate all of those announcements. It seems like there's a lot going on, and there is a lot going on. I definitely would encourage everyone to make an effort to participate in any of the lunch gatherings that are near you, and it's a great way to meet folks from North Georgia GMRS and network. Get to know the group a little bit. Ask questions. Maybe get some technical help with your equipment, and just meet people. And it's a great bunch of people. Definitely would encourage you to attend, many or one or whatever you can of these lunch gatherings. So, yeah. And with that, Julie, do you have any tips to share this week?
Well, I guess my tips this week is again about holiday gift ideas. So as the holidays approach, there are plenty of things we stress about, and the perfect gift is often one of them. But when it comes to tech, there are always useful things for nerds at a wide range of prices, from simple kits of various in-style connectors to testers of all ranges, accessories for radios, and parts for projects. There's no end of possibility for gifts for radio enthusiasts. Mesh-tastic nodes can be found for well under $50 and are a great gadget for alternative communications and are loved by radio nerds near and far. The SureCon 102 is a great gift for around $80. It provides forward and reflective power readings as well as direct display of SWR. Some models are dual band and will work for both VHF and UHF, which makes them great for GMRS users and hams. Alternatively, the Big Rig Expert comes in a number of sizes, shapes, and capabilities. For hams, they start at around $240, but to get to one that works for GMRS, they cost around $600. Wow. But they are so cool. Whatever your price range, there are great gifts for tech nerds. Cable testers, external microphones and earpieces, even flashlights can be great gifts for tech nerds. For the budding hobbyist, there are some inexpensive DIY electronic kits on Amazon that will help with soldering skills, reading schematics, and learning practical applications for basic and advanced electronics and programming. Kits can be as simple as AM or FM radios. Let me break. Or can be learning platforms for programming Arduino, whatever that is. Books. Books are a great gift for technology and radio enthusiasts. A good one is Make Electronics. Or for hams, there are some books on the ARRL website. Quite a collection, in fact. And finally, for those with an interest in becoming a ham, study guides are a great incentive to learning how to pass a test to become a licensed radio operator. HamRadioPrep.com is a great way to learn. The course includes a series of short videos and a proven method for getting you into a license, with a money-back guarantee that you can pass the test. These are just a few examples of how the North Georgia GMRS members have become the best operators on the nation's largest, most advanced linked repeater network. And remember, if you have any questions or suggestions for new user tips and operating procedures, you can send me a note at julie@nggmrs.org. We are North Georgia GMRS Network, and this is Atlanta 947, WQIR 514.
Well, good stuff, Julie. And, back to that ham radio prep, Tony, if you could bring that back up again.
Okay.
They are offering, I thought this was pretty incredible, 60% off if you do the 3-part deal. So you can buy the study guide for a technician. And I'm not sure what the costs are because I think that they've all changed.
Well, I got a free book. I think you got one for Julie too, right?
Yeah,
for
but the
extra?
book is only part of it, right? So
Right.
there's an online course as well. And if you become a member on that online course,
Yeah.
if you become a member on that online course, then you can access that part of the study guide, and then you can also. Are you hearing that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So that's somebody very near flagship, probably overpowering. All right, we'll find them. We'll find them. So you can access that study guide, and if you use their program and pay for their program, so there's an online element. There are
Right.
videos, short videos that you can use to help with the study process and the book.
Okay.
So there's 3 components to that. If you pay for their program, they guarantee that you'll pass on your first try.
Guaranteed?
First try, money back.
Wow.
So if
So
you
we'll
take the
see.
test and you don't pass, then you'll get your money back. But this 60% off is if you buy all 3. So, I mean, let me break. We know that we're going to eventually, I mean, so many of us think, well, I'm just going to get my tech,
Right.
and that's going to be enough. And for a lot of people it is.
That's where I started.
And so we can do that. We can do the tech, and that's fine. But you may also, at some point, decide, I'd like to get into some HF. So let me go ahead and do the general as well.
I didn't get a salad when I got my general though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to be cool like the free salad to get
know.
the free salad. But along the way, you may also have an interest in just going ahead and taking that extra step and become an extra. So all of these things, the cool thing about the extra is it gives you the opportunity to be a VE to
right.
provide testing for other people. So, and that's got its own level of rewards.
And I'm so glad they took the CW out. I don't know how long ago it was, but
Yeah.
I know that's
Right.
Oh, but that's so cool.
I think I want to learn it, but yeah, I don't know that
Yeah.
I could test it yet.
I would love to learn that.
Well, the ARRL has some CW books that I saw on that previous screen. But in any case, so at 60% off for basically the cost of the technician course,
Right.
you can get all 3.
Guaranteed.
And I don't know that there's a time limit on how soon you have to use them. So you can do the technician this year,
Right.
and keep the general in your pocket for next year.
There you go.
Do the general when you get to it. Do the extra when you get to it, and it's already paid for. So hamprep.zero is it .com or .org?
Com.
Ham Radio Prep is what we're looking for. Hamradioprep.com. And take a look at that right now. They're running their Black Friday special is 60% off if you do the trifecta. You don't have to pass all 3 tests.
But if you give it as a gift, you will have to get a card. See, here, pass your test.
Yeah. So do that, and I think that would be a very cool thing. So are we going to do that for your extra?
We are. I'm going to take a stab at it, and we'll see if we pass it the first time.
First time for your money back.
Nice.
So yeah. Now I think that we get 20% off. Now if you buy the book, inside the cover of the book, did you notice that?
No.
There's a 20% off discount code
for the online stuff.
So you've got the book, but that's only part of the course.
Just don't have the bandwidth right now.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah, and that's part of it. I think that's the same issue that Julie has. Is she's got the desire, she wants to get there, but it's carving out the time,
right,
and figuring that part of it out. So, what worked really well for us, for me, and the group that I tested with was getting a group of people together and committing to a test date. Oh, I do need a break. A group of people commit to a test date, gather weekly,
right,
and spend some time going over the material together. What's cool about that? There's 2 things, right? One, there's a personal accountability. If you're going to show up for this group, you probably have to be able to bring something to it. So having done your homework, done your study time. And the other thing is as you're sitting and enjoying a meal together, because that's what we're really good at, we can talk about the things that we struggled with in the material the week before. Because the thing that I struggle with might have been easy for you.
Right.
And you have a really cool way of remembering that information. Whereas the things that were easy for me could be things that you struggle with, and I can help you get over the hump in that regard. And that's what worked for, there were 6 of us that tested. All 6 of us passed our extra at our first sitting.
Nice.
So, yeah, I highly recommend the group approach. You just got to find 6 people that you can stand to be in the same room with.
I don't have 6 friends.
Yeah.
I don't.
So
I might like 3 people. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, what about your dog?
No.
Okay. Dog can't read.
No.
All right. So good stuff. So this is an interesting. I think it's interesting. Julie was looking at our phone today, and and her imagine that. In her phone, the memory came up from 8 years ago.
8 years ago today.
Julie and I were at the Hamfest in Fort Wayne, Indiana, 8 years ago today, and we bought this.
Nice. Sure.
And I actually was wearing this
In that
8
photo
years ago.
from 8 years ago.
today.
So you pulled it out, put it back on today.
No, I already had it on.
You already had it on?
Not only that, but
Wow.
my dad was in one of the background pictures, and he is wearing the very same shirt from that picture, too. Is that crazy or what?
We're in a simulation. You know that, right?
Yeah. It's not like she wears this all the time.
No.
I mean, it's been in the drawer for quite a while since I've seen her in it before. So,
Wouldn't snow on the ground, was it?
well, no. I mean, it was not that long
cool.
ago, but it's not like she has it on every other day. It's probably a couple of weeks or months since she's had it on. So neat stuff.
Yeah,
just that
funny.
it would happen to roll out that way.
Nice.
Yeah, crazy.
All right.
Anyway,
You have anything else?
that's it.
All right. So you do have my Christmas list.
I do.
From Julie's
yes.
Yeah, that was definitely your Christmas list, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. So anybody has any other gift ideas, that's really what the topic tonight is. So if you know of a website, if you know of a particular item that should be on a radio enthusiast's Christmas list, then go ahead and give that to us on the air tonight. We'll talk about that. Let me break. And we'll just share some good ideas back and forth and see if we can have a fantastic holiday season and get some great gift ideas. Tony, what do you want for Christmas?
You know, I haven't. It's snuck up on me.
Yeah.
It really has. So does Thanksgiving next week. I was like, oh Lord, but I haven't put much thought in it. We don't do big for the wife and I, but we do for the grandkids and stuff. So, and plus we have a wedding coming up, so in January. So I haven't really thought about it a whole lot yet.
Yeah, I really haven't either myself, other than putting this list together for Julie. But, I mean,
actually, I have put a lot of thought into it, and we have done this years past, and we have decided that we have decided
we did make that decision.
We're not really doing gift exchanges. What we're doing are games. So we've done this years ago. Everybody bought a new game and brought it and broke it out, and we just spent the day eating and playing games. And actually, when I discussed it with my kids this year, they were all in because they said that is their best Christmas that they've had before. Well, they kind of go shopping for themselves because they get the game that they really want.
True.
Yeah,
we play cards afterwards usually, late in the evening.
And some games are card games.
Yeah,
but I mean, some of these board games are so complicated and so sophisticated.
Especially nowadays.
Let me know when you're done.
Right.
All right. I want to be entertained by a game.
Right.
I don't want to have to work at it. So if it's a work at it game, I'm gonna sit this one out.
Our neighbors were explaining a new game they played over the weekend, and it was like he was going on and on and on. I'm like, I'm out. I can't. I'm not. If I can't follow the directions in like under 2 words or 2 sentences, then I'm out.
Yeah. Now some games are a little bit on the complicated side, and they end up being fun.
Right.
So you do need to kind of give it a try, but yeah, I'm of the more of the I want to be entertained. I don't want to have
fun.
I don't want to have to
those
process
kind
this.
of games
Right.
too.
I don't want to solve the world's problems. I just want deal me in.
Yeah.
Which cards do I want here? So games are a great amount of fun, and I think it's a great. So here's the coolest part about this, right? How many times do you have the white elephant? And everybody has to buy a gift for $50 or so. All right, so what are you going to get for $50? That's really of any substance and meaning. It's all trinkety stuff.
Right.
So you're not buying things that are going to be long-lasting, that are going to be memorable, that are going to be. But if you spend $50 on a game, and your family sits down at the table and plays that game,
priceless.
You can't buy memories
really
like that. So
and that's the way my kids think.
Right. A lot do.
Yeah, and to make the army boy cry, that's worth $50 right there.
The FCC rule for GMRS linking, primarily outlined in 47 CFR 95.17338 and 95.1749, prohibits the
Let's just keep right on trucking.
stations with any network,
Our microphones are on.
for the purpose of
Okay.
carrying communications. Listen up, Todd Elliott 1402,
Let's mute channel 16,
including the internet.
at least for now.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back to that here in just a little bit. Sorry about that little technical snafu, but we are back on the live stream, and I think we're back on most of the network. So we'll get all of that resolved here in just a little bit. Once we see that green light go out, like right there, we should be able to release that mute, and I think we'll be fine there. So we did hear some interference coming in, and but I think we're dealing with that in the background. So we're going to keep right on with tonight's program. So
Well, with that, I'm going to swap out. I think Mike's ready to have a seat, and I'm going to say good night.
all right, you're going to sign off.
This is WQIR 514 Atlanta 947, and I'm clear.
All right, good night, Julie.
Good night.
Julie.
Julie.
Okay, and Free Salad will be back here in a minute. He's going to drive the log for us. And one of these days, we'll have a studio that's big enough for everybody to be in here at the same time. But for now, we're just going to make this work. And let's see. I do have a log here. We're going to go to the top of the roster. And, well, you know what? We need to take additional check-ins.
We do.
Yeah, we don't have enough. So let's go ahead and see if there's anybody else out there that would like to check in to tonight's net. This will be an opportunity for anybody from any repeater other than Flagship. I think that Flagship may be Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. But let's go for it. Anyone wishing to check in from any repeater other than flagship?
Node manager suggests that we weren't going out at all just now, like to any repeater. So we're probably not going to get any check-ins.
Okay.
He's got flagship in there.
And Vanguard trailer studio interface is in there, so
Now you're going out.
well, we're going out, but we're not going out to any other repeaters. So the central core is lit up, but all right, so let's try that. Any repeater other than flagship, please call net control now.
This is WSGP 646, Atlanta 164, and by way of relay, Atlanta 165, Dan and Julia, and Marietta, checking in and checking out, but as always, monitoring.
Fuck you, fuck you.
Oh, I need to get YouTube.
This is WSHN 839, Chattanooga 32, Scott, checking in and out for Ringgold, Georgia tonight.
This is WRPU 564, Gainesville 113. Keep checking in and checking out from Beaufort, Georgia.
This is WAN 275, Atlanta 313, Steve from Swanee checking in and checking out and monitoring.
This is WRXM 345, Gainesville 43, David and Winder checking in, checking out.
This is Whiskey Sierra Hotel Golf 331, Atlanta 350, checking in and checking out.
All right, let me go ahead and acknowledge this round of check-ins, and meanwhile, Mike's going to try to plug in some of our check-ins from YouTube, and but let's go ahead and get this off the ground. We got Atlanta 164, Dan in Marietta, in and out, as well as Atlanta 165, Julia, also in Marietta, also in and out. Chattanooga 32, Scott in Rossville. Scott, I finally saw your Facebook message and had a conversation with Gary, so we'll be following up on that. And just as general information, if you need to contact me, the best way to do that would be an email to justin@nggmrs.org. That's pretty easy to remember. It's just simply justin@nggmrs.org. If you Facebook Messenger me or try to contact me in any of the other forms, I likely won't see that. I don't check Messenger. It's not on my phone, and it's a platform that I have been just absolutely repulsed by. So I get all kinds of garbage. Some of it is pornographic in nature. Some of it is just disgusting, and it's not something that I really care to subject myself to. So If you send me something on Facebook Messenger, I'm never going to see it looking at my telephone. The only way I'll ever see that is if I'm at a computer and I happen to notice that there's an elevated queue count in the Facebook Messenger. And I'm often reluctant. I may notice that and still choose not to look at it because I've just gotten so much garbage from that over the years. So if you Facebook Messenger me, you can count on not receiving a timely response. I just don't look at it. So there again, the best way to make contact with me or with anybody in the North Georgia GMRS organization would be an email to justin@nggmrs.org. Or if you have a technical concern, you can send an email to support@nggmrs.org. The support email goes out to several of us that are able to log in and do some remote diagnostics, and we can do a limited amount of work, on a remote basis. So if you send it to support, whoever is able to work that trouble ticket first, we'll just get it handled. If you send it to me personally, I might not see it until the next day. And same thing with text messaging. I just might not see that in a timely fashion, just because there's so much noise there. I get so many texts every day from work and from other things that I'm just not catching up with all of that. So just wanted to throw that out there, Scott. Sorry that I didn't see that sooner. And let's see, where am I? So that was Chattanooga 32. Gainesville 113. Keith in Buford is in and out. Atlanta 313. Stephen in Sewanee is in and out. Gainesville 43. David in Winder in and out. Atlanta 350. Ted in Tucker in and out. We have a guest check-in from WSJF 982 Joe in Loganville. We have Atlanta 1155. Shanna in Canton is a YouTube check-in. Another guest from WSJN 304, Gary, is a YouTube check-in. We have Gainesville 58, Jonathan, Mr. Simplex from Oakwood, Georgia, checking in on Facebook on YouTube. We have WRQE 398, Richard in Hayesville, Kansas, is guest check-in. Atlanta 251, Frank in Alpharetta, and Atlanta 252. Frank, we don't have a name for that other user, but we've got both of you in the log. Thank you for that. Columbus 25, Peter in West Point, Georgia, is a YouTube check-in. Atlanta 263, Rogers is watching us from San Francisco. He's out there on a work project this week, so thanks for checking in tonight, and hope that the project is a huge success. Glad to have you in here tonight. Chattanooga 69, Ronnie, the Velvet Alvis, is checking in on YouTube from Las Vegas. And we have WRYQ 727, Miko from upstate. Miko is back. Glad to have you along. We have Rome 12, Mark is in Rome, and he's a YouTube check-in. We have guest check-in from WRSN 677, MJP, checking in on YouTube. We have Dallas 69. Brett in Hiram is also a YouTube check-in. Those are the check-ins we have.
Took me a second to get caught up. We had a bunch tonight.
It took me a second to get through them all.
Crazy over there.
Yeah, but we've still got another round of check-ins to ask for. This time from the flagship repeater or any repeater. Net Control standing by.
Let's go flagship.
We may not have been going out. That was.
Did I time out again?
You did.
This is WROB
Okay.
245, Atlanta 849, in tonight in Duluth. And by relay, Atlanta 848 will be in and out because he's outside burning.
This is
My name is Gary Beckstead.
780 WQ.
My call is WQYU 407. I live at 15 Emerald Springs Drive in Lawrenceville, Georgia. You can find me at number 3 Hobbit Trail in
Did we dump? Looks like we did dump flagship. No, it's still there.
I think you brought it back.
All right, let me go ahead and acknowledge this short list. We have Atlanta 849. Pamela in Duluth is in tonight, as well as Atlanta 848. Ernest in Duluth. He's probably burning leaves, I would guess.
Yeah, I hope that's what she meant.
There's a yeah, it's hard telling, I suppose. He's out there burning. We're gonna assume that he's burning leaves. That is its own mess. Have you seen the backyard here?
Yes.
Yeah. So we've already raked the backyard once, and it was halfway to knee deep. If we hadn't done it once, it would be knee deep by now. And
I know I spent 4 hours with the backpack blower the day.
yeah.
In the yard.
Well, Julie did it the first time by hand with a rake.
Oh no.
So we're probably going to run the mower and do some mulching on leaves here this next time around. It's just huge, and it always is. And I'm sure that everybody else has got the same thing going on. You probably don't have any leaves up there at the Cabbage Patch, do you?
No, not any.
They're all gone?
Yeah.
Not any.
Yeah.
No, I have so many. I could make a pile the size of the house.
Yes.
Yeah. What's going on over in Kennesaw, Gary?
A lot of leaves.
Yeah.
A lot of leaves.
Yeah. So we all know what we're doing this weekend. I was just thinking that it'll be nice to have a weekend coming up with not a lot on my plate, but then when you consider the leaf factor, there's a lot. So also we heard Atlanta 780 Houston in Austell is in and out. We've got Columbus 10 as a YouTube check-in. That's Patrick in Fortson, Georgia. All right. I'm not sure where is that. Do you have any idea?
I don't know.
I don't.
I don't either.
It's probably over there by Flowery Branch.
Could be.
Flowery Branch.
Yeah. Just on the other side of the lake.
Yes.
All right. Atlanta 273 Mitchell in Canton is also a YouTube check-in.
And we did get, he came back to us on YouTube. We did get, where did it go? Frank, Atlanta 251, his relay for 252. Her name is Valerie.
Valerie.
So
okay.
I've updated the
Valerie.
log to
Welcome,
reflect-
Valerie.
I've updated it
Fantastic.
to reflect Valerie.
I'm glad you
Nice.
brought that to light. I didn't even see that. So good stuff. We got you in there. So, and I want to make a quick comment here. So many of you are aware that we have been in experiencing intentional interference, and a couple of things I'd like to say with regard to that. Right. So obviously, without enough to do in life, and maybe combined with a little bit of mental disorder. And perhaps some anger issues mixed in there. I'm not sure, if he was dropped as a child. Lots of possibilities here. But I'm hoping that our audience can offer some grace in light of what's been going on this network. Yes. Clearly, prayers are needed, and there's an individual that is hurting in a way that really few of us are equipped to deal with. It's unfortunate that an individual has taken it upon themselves to challenge the integrity of the network, right? So we have been operating for quite some time as a linked repeater network. Now, back in early 2024, there was some controversy that came up as to whether or not linking was appropriate or correct. Let me break. And we've addressed that. We've addressed that a number of times. And we have reviewed the rules over and over again, and we've explained our position that there is an opinion that's been stated at the top of the page for the Part 95 rules on the FCC website. But that's not a Part 95 rule. That's an interpretation or an opinion. It's not actually an actionable rule. So for someone to say that linking is not allowed, and then it doesn't support that further down when you go through the actual Part 95 rules, it's improper. And it's unfortunate because I think that the FCC has done great harm, tremendous harm to GMRS radio. And I'll tell you why I think that. This was once a wonderful family platform. Mm-hmm. We could turn a radio on. We could have the radio in the presence of our family and our friends, our children, our grandchildren, without fear of anything inappropriate being broadcast over the air. Our family could listen. We could participate in family events and monitor the radio. We could engage in radio conversations with our other members and not have to worry about somebody swearing, not have to worry about somebody starting an argument or any uncomfortable, unpleasant, awkward situations. We could do that in this environment without any concerns whatsoever. But someone has taken it upon themselves to turn GMRS radio into a CB-like wasteland where it's uncomfortable to have your radio on for any extended period of time. We certainly don't want to have our radios on in front of our families anymore. This individual has gone to great lengths to just ruin the airwaves for everyone over the idea that maybe they think we're in violation of a rule, or over the idea that they think that we are maybe operating in too large of an area. Well, whatever their opinion is, we have nearly 1,000 people who have contributed to the operations of North Georgia GMRS. So there's 1,000 people that support what we do versus one individual who doesn't. And ultimately, it's not up to any one individual to tell us what we can or cannot do in North Georgia GMRS. It's up to the FCC to tell us that. And we are aware that a number of FCC complaints have been filed. We're aware of this for two reasons. One is that people have told us that I'm going to file a complaint with the FCC. And I believe them. I believe that they did do that. I'm also aware that the FCC has a case number assigned that is related to North Georgia GMRS. Okay, but that doesn't mean that there's an enforcement. That doesn't mean that they have an action that they can engage in, because we've been in contact with the FCC months and months and months ago about the very issue of linking. In the last conversation we had with them, let me break. The last conversation that we had with them was send us a letter that defines the particular Part 95 rule that you believe we're in violation of, and we'll consider it. So we've not gotten a letter. That's not happened. It's the FCC's role to determine whether or not we are in violation of the rules. It's not up to you. It's not up to your neighbor. It's not up to your amateur radio club. It's not up to anyone but the FCC. And to date, the FCC has not contacted North Georgia GMRS with an official letter to determine that we are in violation of any rules. So what other authority is there that we would have to answer to in regards to the operation of North Georgia GMRS? If there's some other authority out there, they need to contact us. But as an individual, you're actually a greater violator of the rules when you come on the air and you interfere with an ongoing program, or when you come on the air and you speak vulgarities, or you dox people with their personal information or their address, which, newsflash, that's not hard to find. The information that you've been putting out there is irritating, and it's aggravating, but anybody can find that information. You're not really releasing any kind of a real secret here. So your efforts at undermining what we do are just childish. And really what you do is you take the joy away from hundreds of radio operators that used to be able to turn their radio on around their kids and their grandkids. And they can't do that anymore because one individual with a mental illness and a childlike behavior thinks that he is above all of this and can do whatever he wants. You, my friend, are the one who is in violation of Part 95 FCC rules. And I'm aware that you're in violation of other parts of FCC rules. So enjoy it while it lasts, but I promise you it will not last. And, it's just unfortunate that we let an individual like this take the joy of radio away from us. And, I've heard a number of people indicate that they're not going to renew because of this.
Yeah.
Yep. So here's ultimately what happens, right? We're going to make adjustments to our budgets for 2026 in anticipation of lower renewal numbers. And we expect that our revenue is going to be down, and that's okay. We're going to do the best we can to maintain the plant as it is. But I'll tell you, the first repeaters that we're going to ignore when it comes to maintenance are the ones that are being abused. And if it's a matter of making a repair or replacement at one of those sites, it's probably not going to happen. If it's a matter of making repairs to sites that are not being abused, those will certainly be the priority. So just bear in mind that we're going to continue to operate the best way that we can, and until we run out of money, or until the FCC comes and tells us that we have to do things differently. Now, if that happens, really all that happens is that we drop our linking. The vast majority of our audience is on flagship repeater anyway. So if we do have to drop our linking, this net will continue on the flagship machine, and we may alternate to other machines on other weeks, but for the most part, nothing really changes if the links are dropped. And if that does happen, we have a linked repeater network in the amateur radio world. So for those of you who are unable to hear us on the GMRS side, you don't need a license to monitor an amateur radio repeater. You can monitor anything you'd like, and then if you need to interact with us, you can hit us on the YouTube chat. So we don't see any downside to any action from the FCC. If they do come to us with a letter, it's really not going to change our operation at all. We're going to keep on keeping on just like we always have. The link would be inconvenient to lose, but at this point in time, I don't think that's going to happen for two reasons. Number one, I don't believe that we're in violation of any Part 95 FCC rules. Now, if the FCC changes the rules to make it illegal, then we'll have to address that. But the other reason is that I think that we can show a tremendous public service that North Georgia GMRS has been able to provide by way of linked repeater operations. The emergency standby net is one tool that we've used to be able to provide a monitoring service so that if there's severe weather or other emergency conditions, we can have people in a position to stand by and monitor and report to the authorities if we need to during that time. And the other thing is the Skywarn activations that we have supported in the Chattanooga region. We've been able to conduct operations relevant to public safety directly through Skywarn in that light. So there's other things that we've been able to do too. People have monitored the radio and been able to respond to 911 situations just without the ESN network. So to dismantle that in light of an interpretation of a rule would just be absolutely silly. And we're not going to do that. We're not going to engage in any action regardless of the efforts of some idiot who wants to come on the air and spew profanities in front of what would be children, because this is a family-based network. And GMRS radio is meant to be used with families. It's not meant to be used for amateurs. It's not meant to be used as a method of. Sorry about that. I had to break. It's not meant to be used as a method of interference or antagonism. This is meant to be used by families, and we have always tried to maintain a family-friendly environment. But we've got one guy out here with a mental disorder that thinks that he needs to devolve, to degrade, and diminish GMRS radio into the wasteland that CB radio became a few decades ago. It's a real shame, and I'm really disappointed that the FCC hasn't come in here and dealt with this, because as I am aware of complaints against North Georgia GMRS, I'm also aware of complaints that have been filed in relation to the vulgarities spewed across this network. So that being the case, all I can do is apologize and ask that you bear with us through this, that you continue to support North Georgia GMRS Network. We have borne some pretty significant expenses in dealing with this. We have invested in Kraken devices. We have considerable effort being engaged by individuals that are out tracking, that are engaged in finding and dealing with this, collecting logs. A tremendous amount of data has already been collected, and this activity is going to be dealt with at some point. But the FCC is toothless here, right? They've not been able to help us. They've not really been willing to engage. They've not really been a supporter in any way, and that's unfortunate, because if they're going to try to enforce an imaginary rule against us with regard to linking, why wouldn't they enforce actual rules and deal with this individual who is specifically in violation of Part 95 rules by failing to identify, and with other FCC rules by engaging in vulgarities over the air? So I hope that you'll continue to support North Georgia GMRS. Don't let this guy win. stick around, stick with us, make your renewals, and hopefully we'll be able to endure this. And on the other side of this, North Georgia GMRS will be the family-based network that we have always enjoyed for these many, many years. We've been here since 2007, and this guy is certainly not going to chase us off the air, and we hope that he won't chase you off the air either. So,
well said.
Thanks for letting me rant. I've been wanting to get that off my chest for a while, and but we still have some check-ins, I think, out there.
Before you go off that topic, can I pile in with just maybe a couple words?
Yes.
Let's break, reset. I won't pretend that my position, what I'm about to say, speaks on behalf of the network. It doesn't. But last Thursday, this was carrying on, and we were at the dinner table, and I had both my young boys, and I had the radio. It was 6 p.m. I was getting ready for this net and listening to the traffic, and this guy comes on. And a couple of you engaged with him in antagonistic ways, asking him if he'd been stuffed in a locker and a bunch of other things. And I would just ask, as a person, and I would recommend that you not engage in that kind of behavior. And I called out to you. I don't remember your name, and it doesn't matter. But I called out to you and asked you to stop, because what transpired then is you antagonized him, and he came back on the air 3 more times, responding to you with his vulgarities. Now, had we not antagonized, that would have been 3 less instances of profanity that interrupted my dinner. So if you are actively engaged in the tracking efforts and you are part of the team that is working on that, different story. If you are someone who is just trying to get a crack at this guy, I would hope that there are other things that you could be doing and maybe not stirring up more of that pot so that he feels the need to respond to you, because that's what he does. You get the desired reaction out of him that you want, which is a reply. And that brings more profanity and vulgarities across the network for all of us. So that's my plea.
And here's the bottom line, right? So we've got this equipment out there that's engaged in tracking efforts, and if we find a positive location, and we found a number of them, what do you do with that?
Right.
Is this person mobile? If that's the case, that location that you just tracked is only good for the time that person is there.
Right.
All right. So we don't have enough information to be able to make a positive ID. And even if we do, if we have the Kraken track and we have somebody with an HT monitoring the input frequency, and we're able to positively identify that signal came from that house or from that vehicle or from that park or from that storefront or whatever that the case may be, we still can't do anything. We don't have the authority to go in and spank anybody. We don't have the authority to go punch him in the teeth as much as someone might like to. We can't do that. And so all of these things are pieces of information that we can acquire and that we can add to a file that we can provide to the authorities. Right. And that's what we're doing. That's as much as we're allowed to do. We're not allowed to do anything beyond that. We're not able to engage in enforcement of FCC rules. Just like if you're opposed to what we do as a network, if you don't appreciate the fact that we are linked over such a wide area and you feel like we are in violation of the principles of GMRS radio and it's not meant to be that, and et cetera, if that's your mindset and you don't like what we do, I don't know what to tell you.
File a complaint. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Turn the radio off.
Turn the radio off. Change a channel. I've heard people comment that they can't put a repeater up. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can. You know, the Big Shanty Radio Club put up a repeater up on Sweat Mountain.
Right.
I'm not aware of any interference or interactions. If we're interfering with their repeater, they've not reported it to us.
I know of several that's gone up, right?
And that's a high profile site, right?
Right.
So Sweat Mountain is going to be, that's a location that's going to see a lot of our machines. I don't know what frequency they're on, but I promise you that we're on the same frequency that they are. And you know, our friends Andrew Stedman and Nick Weimer have put up a repeater on Pine Log Mountain.
Well, we talk about the repeater book. If you go to repeaterbook.com and look under GMRS, A lot of people say, well, it's a closed network or it's an open network. Go look at the listings. You will see more closed network repeaters listed in repeater book than open.
Mm-hmm. But Andrews is open. So if you don't want to be a part of North Georgia GMRS, there are options out there. And you can engage in other people's repeaters pretty effectively. And, if this is not your bag, then do that. Go do that. We don't feel like we have to have everybody that is a GMRS user on the network. In fact, I invite people that are not members to participate in all of our nets.
Right.
We want you to be
valid call sign, a valid
FCC call, just like the
all you
rules
need.
say.
It is open.
And so I want you to be comfortable and happy with the network before you send your money in. Of course, that's hard to do these days when you got FU guy out there,
right?
Constantly ruining things for everyone. But I want folks to be comfortable and confident in that donation that they make to North Georgia GMRS before you send the money in. The last thing I want you to do is to send us a bunch of money and then find out you're not happy with the network and that you can't get into a repeater.
Yeah, you don't have coverage or whatever. Right.
Yeah. So, because, as a nonprofit, we're not really in a position to refund donations. Once you send us the money, that I promise you that money was spent before it ever hit the bank. So you have to understand as a new user, that's the risk that you take. I don't want it to be a risk. I want it to be a known quantity that you're comfortable sending us the money rather than I got to send the money before you come on the air.
Right.
You're welcome to come on and make test transmissions. You're welcome to participate in our nets. Let me break. And all of those things. But what you're not welcome to do is come on and spew vulgarities and ruin people's dinner.
Right.
Ruin people's afternoon of enjoying the radio with their kids, with their grandkids. You're taking so much joy away from so many people. It's not just me. I can turn the radio off.
Right.
I'm big enough that I can do that. I don't have to listen all the time, all day long. But it does take a lot of joy of listening to the radio away when I have to make that decision. So even here around the house, there are several radios that used to be on 24/7, and they're just not anymore because of that vulgarity. So if that's your win, then I guess you win. You've just ruined things for a lot of people. But in all reality, you're not going to win. We're going to be here a lot longer than you are.
Nobody likes a bully.
Nobody likes a bully. And the reality is that once you are found and you are made public, you won't have any place to hide. It's one thing to dox that information, from the network owner and from a handful of prominent users on the network. Okay, all right, you did that. Good on you, I guess, for whatever that's worth. But nobody's going to visit these people and harass them. And so if that's your goal, you've failed there. It's just silly, and it's a waste of airwaves. And to keep playing that recording about how GMRS linking is not allowed. If that's the case, then why has the FCC not contacted us?
Yeah, because we talked to them before the shutdown. I don't want anybody thinking that, we called them while the shutdown was going on.
That's right. Well before. There was no thinking of a looming government shutdown when our contact was made with the FCC. So, all right. Well, with that, let's go ahead and continue. Let's see if we can grab a few more check-ins because I think we closed that early, partly because of interference. So let's continue on with additional check-ins. Any repeater anywhere. Net control, standing by. We probably have enough check-ins.
This is WRYZ 968 Gainesville 100. Randall and Buford checking in.
All right, Randall. Sorry you had to listen to all that.
Yeah. Did he just come back and say in out?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
This is
I want to make sure I got it.
this is WSGS 735 Unit 40. This is Orestes in Palmetto, Georgia. Check me in, check me out, please.
North of Palmetto?
That's it.
No, north of
Columbus.
North of Columbus.
It's like a suburb.
This is WREB 450 Atlanta 26.
Sounds like Flip.
I am Flip.
Yep.
And Druid Hills, beautiful Druid Hills. checking in.
Do we know this Frank Johnson or Jackson on YouTube? I don't think did he have a call?
It's in and out.
I didn't get
Is that 306, George?
I'll put it in. It's questionable, unless you're confident.
This is WSSC 865 Angel checking in and out. Have a phone call.
Oh, you were looking at this. This is my cheap early Black Friday.
Hello.
$67.
Because it does digital modes too.
Yes.
Right?
I got it to experiment and test with DMR.
Right. Right.
But, yeah.
Seems decently solid.
All right, let's go ahead and acknowledge what we have. We have Gainesville 77. Ooh, is that, I'm going to mispronounce that. I'm going to go with Lakin. You think that's right?
That's my best guess.
Gainesville 77, Lakin in Buford. I apologize if I got your name wrong. And if you would, go back into the chat and maybe give me a pronunciation guide if I got it wrong. And I'll come back and try to get it right. Michael, let me know, and we'll see if we can fix that. We've got a guest check-in from WB802, Larry. That call sign is familiar, but I don't remember where Larry's from. Colorado. Thanks for checking in with us tonight, Larry. We also have Atlanta 123, Jarius in Ellenwood. We have Gainesville 26J in Flowery Branch. And over the air, we heard Gainesville 100, Randall. He came in right after my long rant about all things GMRS, so appreciate you sticking in and listening to all that, Randall. Glad to have you along tonight. Got you in and out. Also, Noonan 40, Orestes in Palmetto, in and out. Atlanta 26, Flip in the beautiful Druid Hills is in with us tonight. Atlanta 306, George in Loganville. It was a bit...
scratchy.
A bit scratchy there, but I think that I heard George checking in there from Loganville. CW16 Angel in Athens made it in there as well. At this time, we're going to go to the top of the roster. If you didn't get in, that's all right. Stick around. We'll take one more round of additional check-ins or questions or comments as we get to the end of the roster. But at this time, let's go back to Atlanta 557, and let's talk with Ed in Kennesaw. Ed, do you have any gift ideas or website suggestions that you'd like to share with us tonight?
I bet you it's mestastic.
It could very well be, but I think there are other things that Ed enjoys during the holidays. I personally, for $100-ish, 120.
Right.
I don't think there's anything cooler than a Leatherman multi-tool. The Super Tool is the one that I have. And that's just the coolest thing ever. But if you don't want to spend $120, if you want to spend $20 or less,
yeah.
One of the things that I'm a consumer of are holsters for the Leatherman.
Well, yeah, you use a different variety of holster, don't you?
I did find one that seems like it's going to work really well. It's just a little awkward to wear regularly, but it's big and bulky. But I like it because it seems like it's solid and secure and will last. But for $20 you can get a holster, a leather holster for a Leatherman.
Yeah.
And that's a great. It's not really a radio tool,
right?
But you're carrying one tonight, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a new one.
Well, yeah.
Let's see, pull it up. Let's see where's the
Did you buy that for yourself?
I did.
See, he could have waited.
Hopefully the wife's not watching.
She is. She checked in on YouTube.
Did check in? Oh, sorry, honey. I got a new toy.
He could have waited, and it could have been a Christmas present. But I guess
I like it has the wire cutters on them.
Oh, they're great.
I like that.
I love them. But good stuff. Well, let's see what Ed's got for us. Atlanta 557. Ed, go ahead.
good evening, Net Control, and everyone on broadcast tonight, whether you're on YouTube or RF. Good evening. And yes, Meshtastic would definitely be on my list, but I've got so many right now that I don't need any more. But I do have other cool toys. In the $30 to $60 range, I would have people look at possibly getting an SDR, software-defined radio. They sell USB dongles that you attach to your PC, put an antenna on it, and you can scan and receive pretty much all the bands out there, whether it's air traffic or GMRS or ham bands. They're all out there for $30 to $60. Let me take a quick break. Stepping up into maybe the $60 range, Julie spoke about the Rig Expert, but those are hundreds of dollars. But a Nano VNA will do a lot of what a Rig Expert will do as far as analyzing your antenna, whether you have a new antenna that you want to test or you move your antenna position and you want to see what it's doing. Nano VNA can be had for $60. And what a lot of people don't know is you can attach that to your PC and run free software and have the large screen on your PC be your Nano VNA screen. So those are the two other toys that I would recommend to people besides Meshtastic. Back to you.
Oh, that's very cool. And you know, the Nano VNA is basically an SDR radio, right? So it doesn't give you the IF, and you can't really tune to be able to listen with the Nano VNA. But that's basically what that is under the hood, is an SDR radio. So with the SDR that Ed was talking about, they come in a lot of different sizes and shapes and capabilities. But the most basic ones will let you do just exactly that. You can hook that up to the USB port on your computer, plug it into an antenna, set that antenna someplace high, get it outside if you can, and you can see the radio spectrum on your computer. And so as you're looking at different frequency ranges or bands, you can actually see where signals are in the spectrum. And then you can click on that, and it'll tune to that, and you can hear whatever that signal is. It might be voice, it might be... There's all kinds of data out there. There's a lot of telemetry. So there's a lot of machines that are just constantly talking. Like, for instance, on the railroad, we have hundreds of locations that talk all day long. And a lot of times they're going to spend the majority of their day saying the same thing over and over and over again. And they're just reporting a status. But as things happen out there in the field, the message will change, and you'll see those packets, you'll see those bits change from 1 to 0 or from 0 to 1 as those things happen. And sometimes that can be its own reward, to be able to see those packets and decode them. And there are rail fans around that have gone to the length of reading those packets and understanding what they are and being able to actually replicate the dispatcher's board and publish that on a website. So for the rail fans that are out there, now some of that capability has gone by the wayside, I suppose, because the new radio stuff that we're having to deploy is encrypted. So I don't know how you would be able to decode that stuff today, but you can still see the signal in the spectrum, and you could probably hear some kind of noise coming from that. And I suppose if you analyzed it long enough, you might even be able to figure out the encryption. But there's just no end to what you can do with SDR radio. So that's great stuff. And yeah, I think that there's all kinds of gadgets out there. The Rig Expert definitely is.
You think you're going to get one?
Well, I've already got one, so I don't really need another one. But
I know.
There is one that I have my eye on as an upgrade. And it's a third the size. That's not even a third. It's very tiny compared to it. One of the things I don't like about my Rig Expert is that when you connect that connector onto that LDF7, the inch and 5/8, that's a really awkward thing to have your tester connected to that.
Got that.
So if it were the very small, lightweight one, I would be far less concerned about that tester being on the end of that big, heavy cable. So, and I don't really want to use a whip or any extra adapters. Let's break. Because those can impact the readings that you get. So you want to keep your number of adapters or extra cables and stuff to an absolute minimum. Every one of those adapters contributes to a little bit of the SWR in your signal, so the less the better. But like Ed pointed out, the Nano VNA does a lot of what the Rig Expert does. It just maybe a little more effort on your part to be able to decode that. Is that the one?
No.
Okay. They're over here looking up Christmas gifts and passing the phone around. So
sorry, we should be concentrating on the net, but we've drifted and done a little.
we're all Christmas shopping here today, so and I know that folks are doing the same thing at home. But good stuff, Ed. Do you have anything else that you'd like to follow up with?
I'll just add one other one. It's called the Tiny SA. It's a spectrum analyzer, similar. It looks just like a Nano VNA, but it allows you to scan and listen to different bandwidths as well.
Oh, very nice, very nice. So that's a cool piece. As far as test gear, I've got the Rig Expert, but I've also got the old Bird 43, and that's what I think a lot of us grew up on in the radio world was a Bird 43. It's an industry standard tool. At so many of the commercial radio sites that I've been to, that is the reference tool that you're going to use to check forward and reflected power, and you're going to calculate SWR based on the readings that you see in forward and reflected. Ideally, there will be 0 reflected, and if there is any reflected, you want to figure out why. A lot of times the why is because of an adapter somewhere that's either bad or it's cheap or it's leaking or it's got corrosion in it and it's creating high resistance. And ultimately, that's what it is, right? That's every time you add a connector or add a fitting in your antenna circuit, you're adding a little bit of resistance. And so the SWR meters will help you find that. The Bird 43 can be a really, really wonderful tool to track that stuff down with. But the thing that the Rig Expert does that the Bird 43 can't is it can show you the waveform. It can show you right where your center frequency is in your tuning for that antenna system. It's not going to show you power. It's not going to show you very much about the radio, but it'll show you a lot about the antenna. And that's just a really cool device. So thanks for all of that, Ed. And what was that radio called? The SA?
The Tiny SA was
Tiny SA
spectrum analyzer.
That sounds like a really cool tool.
And then the Nano VNA was the I guess it'd be an antenna analyzer, maybe.
Yeah, and I hear a lot of people talk about leaving some sort of an SWR meter in the circuit, and I've never been a fan of that, right? Because if you're going to do that, you're going to come out of your radio with a whip to the SWR meter. You come off the SWR meter with a whip that goes to your antenna system. So you've got a lot of extra connectors in there. Plus whatever losses the SWR meter itself could be introducing into your circuit. It's good to know what's going on with your antenna system. And if you've got trouble, that's going to tell you.
Right.
And that might be able to protect your radio. But of course, modern radios nowadays are going to power themselves back so that they don't burn themselves up against a bad load into an antenna system. But if you would, instead of running an SWR meter in line with your radio, run an SDR or run something like the Tiny SA, have a spectrum analyzer there, you can see your signal waveform from that device and be able to identify if your signal looks right or if it starts to look lower than it normally is or if it's fatter than it normally is. These can all be indicators that you've got a problem in your antenna system. And if you can get familiar with what a normal waveform looks like as you're transmitting, you can become a really effective troubleshooter and diagnostic technician in terms of being able to see what an abnormal signal looks like and understand why it's not normal and what it's going to take to make it right again. So those are tools that you can use that can really advance your level of expertise in radio, because those are the tools that the pros are using. So, and they're not expensive. So
Nice.
good stuff, Ed. Thanks for that.
Thanks, Ed.
Let's go next to Atlanta 250. Dana had, I think he made an announcement today. Dana, did you have anything regarding that you wanted to talk about? And who exactly is Venus Flytrap?
Exactly.
Oh, you had to start with that, didn't you? Anyway, good evening to you, Justin, Gib, and hey, Mike, it's great to hear you. And then there's good old Tony there. So great job by all of you. Let me break.
That looks like Herb Tarlick.
Well, first, I want to talk about what the net is about, and that's the holiday gifts. And my birthday is on the 30th, and of course, then Christmas is right around the corner. So I went ahead and bought myself a birthday/Christmas gift, and got the very nice ICOM 7300, and of course with antenna and everything else. So I spent a little bit of coin, but hey, I'm worth it. So anyway, let me break. Yeah, there are two announcements. The first one is the announcement of the inaugural regional net for the NGARA. And that is going to occur at 7 p.m. on the Thursday following Thanksgiving. And I do believe it's December 4th. So come one, come all. It's going to be, I'm sure, an exciting event. We're going to do everything we can to keep it engaging. So let me reset. So we hope a lot of you can attend, and I realize there are other nets that are happening, which many folks have brought to my attention, but we have several other things on the burner, and Thursday just fit in good for us. So let me break again. The second announcement is of a brand new net that we have created, and it is Saturday Night Sessions, and it's a ham radio talk group, which means every week we will have a roster just like we did tonight on this one, and what I'll do is I'll start at the top, whoever's in, and we'll talk about what they want to talk about, and it could be an array of questions, but it will be a directed net, not like a round table where pretty much everybody is shooting for the mic, but should be a lot of fun. It's nothing happens on Saturday nights really, and I'm going to do my best. It's going to be hosted by yours truly here, and I'm going to do my best to make it exciting, interactive, engaging, and just a whole lot of fun at the same time. Justin, how was that?
Well, that's a great start, and after looking at the images that we talked about earlier, I've kind of decided that I think Herb Tarlick has more of a Dana look than Venus does, but I do like the Dr. Johnny Fever. So I think that's going to be a great radio program. I think we're going to have a lot of fun coming up on when's the first one? It's December 4. At 7 p.m. Tony, does that sound right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Tony doesn't know.
Sorry.
But in any case, that's going to be coming up after Thanksgiving on a Thursday night. The North Georgia GMRS Regional Net will also be happening, so we're going to be competing against ourselves. But I'm going to hang out with Dana. I'm going to hang out with Dana, and we're going to have a good time on the air on the NGARA inaugural edition of the Thursday night amateur radio regional net. So looking forward to that. Dana has made a Facebook post on the NGGMRS page that gives some information about that net. So Good stuff. And Dana, tell me again about. I'm so excited about the announcement. I have no idea what you said for Christmas present. Oh, you got an ICOM. That's right, the 7300.
New radio.
So
where was there room on the table?
Yeah, did you have to get a new desk? Tell us about your install.
Well, no new desk. I had to get rid of 3 radios to create space because this is an actual base station, so it is a bit larger than what I was using before. So yeah, I sold Jennifer my Midland that I had as a backup radio, and let's see, I'm going to keep my 10 meter just as a backup, my old 10 meter. And what is the other one I'm looking? Oh, and I have a Striker, brand new Striker 10 meter radio, but it doesn't have a single sideband. So I'm going to be departing with that. Whoever needs a radio and wants to get it for a very, very reasonable price, I'll go ahead and sell it. Anyway, back to you.
All right. For Free Salad, do you need another radio?
No, I don't have the ability to connect all the radios I have.
But
I actually need to
He's
get
got
rid
a
of
new
some.
tower, though, right?
Well,
Yeah,
I do, but
you have to sell the tower in order to be able to afford a radio.
Right. I actually need to probably move some radios to new homes as well.
Well,
I was thinking about that while Dana was talking about getting rid of 3. I'm like, I can count at least 2 that I could easily find new homes for.
Sounds to me like we need to have a radio fire sale here, so we've got room for some of these upgrades. So we're looking forward to Salad Ridge coming on the air and being able to engage in radio. There's going to be so much room for activities.
So much room for activities.
Yeah. So good stuff. All right. Well, Dana, congratulations on the ICOM. Happy birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving. And are the turkeys safe up there on Mount Olympus?
I have a nice large one that's in the box freezer that is going to be cooked and shared with the same circle of friends. We have what we call Friendsgiving up here, and it's the 3 neighbors that we're all real tight with each other. So going to be a happy day.
All right. Well, good deal there. And word to the wise, you might want to call ahead. There's been a lot of information doxing going on. I would recommend before you visit anybody that you don't have an invitation to, make some notice that you're going to be there because, this is Georgia, and there are a lot of addresses that you just don't show up at.
Yeah.
So be smart. If you think that there's so-and-so's address, I'm just going to go drive by and
call
ahead. Call ahead.
Yeah.
No, be polite and do the right thing. So, all right, Dana. Well, enjoy your Friendsgiving. That's coming up. In about a week?
I think it's exactly a week.
Yeah. So
just a week from today.
Just one more reminder that next week. Vanguard will be locked up tight, and I will be enjoying family time with most of my kids and other elements of friends and family that'll be here to celebrate the holidays. So with that in mind, we will not be on the air for Thanksgiving, but we'll be back shortly after. And some of us are going to be right here in Studio Vanguard on December 4 for the Thursday evening net, and some of us are going to be on North Georgia ARA. So either way, you can tune in. And remember, for the GMRS folks, if you want to check out the ARA and you don't have an amateur license, you don't need a license to monitor.
To listen.
So you can listen for license free. You just can't participate in the ARA as a speaking contributor, but you certainly can. And the same rules apply in amateur radio, right? I don't need your membership for participation in the net. I'm going to invite anybody that is a licensed amateur radio operator to participate in the North Georgia ARA Nets. Give you an opportunity to get your radio checked and to see how we sound to you, just like we do here at North Georgia GMRS. So if you're on the fence about whether or not you want to contribute to North Georgia ARA, concerned about coverage, we do currently only have about half of our sites on the air, but the rest will be coming, and we should be able to achieve our goal of 10 sites in 2026. Next on our roster, we have Chattanooga 260, the host of the Great Christmas Party.
Yay!
Seems like there's a Charlie Brown theme going on in there. Is there? That was a Great Pumpkin. What was the? It was just a Charlie Brown Christmas. You're gonna have a Charlie Brown Christmas, Colt?
This is Chattanooga 260 WSTM 494. Sad news, guys. We're gonna have to cancel the Christmas party. But huge announcement here. As a lover of RF and frequencies, whether it be 2 meter, 70 centimeter, GMRS, HF, which I absolutely love, and everything else, my business, Helton Tire in Dalton, Georgia, will be matching Gary's $2,000. So, yes, that is correct. A $4,000 reward now for whoever finds the person or people who are jamming the love of frequencies. This is more than just a jamming of North Georgia GMRS. It's a jamming of the next generation, and that's something we're going to have to put a stop to. So that is correct. I'll be matching whatever Gary is matching. So we're at $4,000 reward for these pools. That being said, let me break. When it comes to Christmas gifts, there's 2 gifts I love to give. One, a tourniquet. I know it seems weird, but as a paramedic, I also love Stop the Bleed. I think that's very something we overlook. Filling a tourniquet in every bag we have, you never know if you're going to need to use it. I've had to use them multiple times, one time on myself. The other cool thing that I like to use for radios is, like, I have a bunch of cool radios, and we all do. But give the gift of a custom radio this year. It's called ZBM2. That's Zebra, Bravo, Mary, 2. They're cool little whips that are cut. You can get them custom cut for GMRS or UHF or VHF or whatever you want to do. And they take BNCs, and they kind of take your radio from to amazing. Y'all are doing a great job tonight, guys. Y'all did an amazing job going through the interference. Could be more proud of you. Chattanooga 260 here, WSTM 494. Back to you, sir.
Well, very cool. And in fact, I would suggest that rather than a Christmas, that's a great Christmas gift to the network. Rather than a Christmas party, I think we can all celebrate in upping the ante toward putting an end to this, because you're right. This does affect the next generation, because we're right now we're taking the radio away from our youth, but to isolate them from this vulgarity. And what a tragedy that is. But what else can you do? It's the right thing to do in light of what's going on, because someone has taken it upon themselves to engage in absolutely the worst of the wrong things to do. What amount of hate does somebody have to have for fellow man to engage in that effort and for that length of time? It just baffles me. But if we can get some serious effort underway, not that there hasn't been, and we can get an FCC action to put a stop to this, that would be the best Christmas gift of all. What do you think? You're looking at the antenna he was talking about?
Well, I'm trying to find what he was talking about. I thought he said radio, but there's no radios, custom radios on this site. So I was trying to do a little recon and see if I could. There's a couple Anytones and VTECs, but.
Well, you mentioned a BNC antenna. So that's what I thought he was talking about was that antenna.
So that one's for mesh, though.
Okay. Oh yeah, I like that, because if you're putting a radio up in a weathery environment, that seems like one that would survive just about anything. So that's nice. Colt, tell us a little bit more about what was the letters there? MBZAWRLGM31B.
That's a prior veteran Marine out of California, and it's called Zulu Bravo Mary 2. That's Zulu Bravo Mary 2, ZBM2 Industries.
That's right.
And they make these really cool custom antennas. They're making them for Border Patrol right now. They make them for CAL FIRE. And they're called the Foul Weather Whip antennas.
What's this?
And you can get them in whatever color you want. You can get them in 2 meter, 70 centimeter. You can get them custom cut just for MERS and GMRS. And what's kind of cool about them is that they're BNC. And every radio I have is a BNC adapter. I go ahead and convert that over in case I ever need to use it in an emergency situation. Let me break. And so basically it's a BNC antenna. You can get it cut however you want. But basically it is custom cut for our frequencies. And it whips out. You can either fold it on itself or unfold it on itself to extend the range. The cool thing about it is it just kind of perception is reality, and it makes our old radios look kind of cool for $30. You're supporting a veteran, and I can tell you that if I unextend my whip, I can punch that sometimes when I'm having a problem hitting those repeaters. Anyways, back to y'all guys. Chatting at 260 WSTM 404. And reminder, I'm adding an extra $2,000 to find this fool. Back to y'all.
All right, and that's being provided by Helton Tire in Dalton, Georgia. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Come and get it.
All right, folks. Well, you heard that. So the game is afoot. Let's find this guy. Let's get an FCC action, and let's close this chapter because I'm tired of it, and I think that a lot of us are.
A lot of us are.
So yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that reward taken by someone that can put it to good use. So there's the ICOM right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so
that's a nice ICOM.
Now we're talking about the 200 watt ICOM, 7300. Did they make that in a 200 watt version?
No, but they make a PA.
Okay.
7300, I think, is 100 watts right out of the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice.
But that's $1,300-$1,400. You've got plenty of money for a PA and antenna and a couple other things.
Yeah.
You could take that $4,000, a $2,000 from North Georgia GMRS and a $2,000 from Helton Tire, and you could put a little bit more money with that, and you could come up with a flex.
I knew you were going flex.
Yeah,
I knew you were going flex.
You want to talk about SDR radio? That would be my dream radio right there. But let's take that and move on to Atlanta 849 Pamela, and it looks like Flip will be right after that. So hang out here for a few more minutes. Flip, Pamela, do you have any questions or comments or gift ideas for Christmas this year? Black Friday is right around the corner. It's 8 days away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It'll be here.
It's
have you
snuck
budgeted,
up on me. No.
Have you budgeted for Christmas this year?
No.
Yeah, neither have I.
Were you ready for me?
Yep.
Ready or not?
Here we come. There she is.
Okay. Well, mine's kind of a little unusual. I keep hearing everybody talking about it, but I just happen to have procured one. How about a 40-foot tower to use with Simplex, etc.? Kind of cool. I will have one up maybe by Christmas. We'll see how that goes. And there was something you were talking about earlier, and I thought I'd never heard of it, didn't know that was going on. And I was in the car, and I didn't get to write down what in the world.
Didn't get to write down what?
I think I heard what in the world, and I don't know what.
Hopefully it was a good one. What
Yeah.
in the world?
I don't know what in the world that was. You kind of broke up right there at the end. What were you asking about?
At one point, y'all were. Oh, I wish I could remember. Y'all were talking about something I thought I didn't even know that existed. Or maybe it'll come to me eventually. I guess I'd have to go back and look at YouTube and see what it was and bring it to your attention again. But anyway, yeah, my interesting suggestion is a tower for Christmas.
Mike got one of those.
Yeah. I think that's probably on everybody's wish list. I bet Flip wishes he had a tower. I've got 100 feet of tower in my backyard.
Yeah, but it's laying on the ground.
But it's only 3 feet high at the moment. So we need to change its horizontal orientation to make it vertically polarized. We need a vertically polarized tower. You know, we talk about the polarization of a tower, but one thing that was really interesting when we were working on Mike's tower project, we had about 40 feet of tower assembled on the ground, and we had it partially picked up with a tractor. So it's 3-4 feet off the ground, hanging off of the tractor by a chain. And when I walked up to that with an HT in my hand, all of a sudden we were hearing flagship.
Fort Mountain.
Was it Fort Mountain?
Fort Mountain.
So all of a sudden we're hearing Fort Mountain through my HT that no way would we have been able to get it or hear it otherwise. No. But that big mast was a receiver of that frequency, and it was just capacitively coupling to that HT in proximity to it. So fascinating thing. Just having a big piece of steel can improve the gain on at least on a reception. We didn't try to transmit through that, and I'm not sure that transmitting really would have worked, but it was a fascinating thing to experience. It was really neat. In the receive side of radio. So just having that piece of tower as we were trying to do some pre-assembly in preparation for the climb day the next day, and just wouldn't have expected that. Gary, is that something that you would have anticipated happening?
You know, I don't know. Antennas, they work in different ways, and I think it was just a combination of that vertical metal associated with that HT next to it.
Yeah, and at that point it was horizontal, but still it was
horizontal, right? It
was. I think that length of antenna must have had the length of tower must have had a resonance to it that was sympathetic with the frequency we were trying to receive, and the proximity gave us that capacitive coupling, and just fascinating stuff.
Which just for context, I can't receive Fort Mountain with a proper 30-foot mast in the air and a wonderful GMRS antenna, the Comet 712. I don't know that there's a better antenna out there for GMRS. Properly set up and configured, vertically polarized, will not, under any circumstances, any time of the year, receive Fort Mountain. And here's this 4 sections of tower sideways hanging from a tractor.
Yeah.
And an HT.
With an HT.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's break. So, Pamela, I think that 40 feet of tower in your backyard will bring you an immense amount of joy. And I've got a feeling there will be more than a GMRS antenna on that. So you can sidearm. You can put the GMRS antenna at the top. You can sidearm and come down a little bit and put a 2-meter antenna on that. And you can add a few other elements to that at various points and places along the way. So 40 feet of tower means that you can add another 10 feet of mast, and then another 10 feet of antenna at the end of that mast, and
almost 60 feet.
You can be 60 feet pretty easily. So that is achievable with that configuration. 40 feet of mast is something that you can do with a couple of pieces of pipe, but it's not going to be all that solid. It's going to move in the wind.
Yep.
And you know what happens when antennas move in the wind? Your signal washes in and out, and you just get that. It sounds like you're operating off of a mobile. So we've been there, and we've done that right here at Studio B. So we're not going to do that anymore. But it's something to get you on the air, right? And that's the first thing we have to do. The first thing is to get on the air, and then we make incremental improvements to our station beyond that. So good stuff, Pamela. Did you have anything else?
Yes, and let me kind of correct that. I said we have 40 feet of tower, but 40 feet will not be going up in one spot. It will be split with 20, plus, like you said, we'll have the GMRS on it, and there will be a side one, and then in a different location in the yard, I think in the back, is going to be one. It's going to be for whatever meters he puts on there. So we'll kind of see how things come together and putting it, getting it in the ground. That's kind of been our challenge to figure out right now. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to let you know and send it back to you. Thanks.
All right, exciting stuff, and sounds like a fascinating project. And I get
Good
the
luck,
sense
Ernest.
that there's maybe some HF intentions in there too.
I think
I was
so.
wondering about a beam.
Yeah,
If you had-
a beam or
if you
even
guys
a
had a beam.
long wire.
A wire.
Supported between two. She's
Between
talking
two
about
towers?
Two towers and a long wire and.
Maybe have enough room for 80 meters.
Yeah. How big a lot is it, I wonder? So
I don't know.
there's lots of opportunities there, and you don't even have to be full wave. So you can quarter wave that 80 meters and have pretty decent performance. Let's move next to Atlanta 26 Flip in the beautiful Druid Hills. Flip, what are your thoughts and suggestions for gift ideas? Do you have any good websites that we should go to, or anything that you think we need to avoid?
Well, hey guys, I really don't have a whole lot of good ideas for Black Friday. I've actually been getting into lock sporting a little bit. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but they do run a there's a site called covertinstruments.com, and that's run by a guy that's a big lock picking educator, and he has a thing called Companion Pro, something like that. Companion Pro. It's like one of these things that fits in your pocket and has all the tools you need. So it's kind of fun. I think they're going to discount that over the holidays. But yeah, it's kind of fun. But no, I don't have any radio targets, targeted items that I'm looking for Black Friday wise. I will say that we got unanimous approval through the DeKalb County Druid Hills Historic Commission that our plans for some work on our house were approved. So we've been, as we work towards finishing our plans and getting building permit and contractor on board, we have been sorting everything in our 24 years of existence here in this house to donate, trash, and must keep. So I've been more purging than acquiring lately.
Well, I think we come to a point in our lives where that's an important element, right? So we collect the stuff that we think that we're going to need and that we're going to want, but especially when we're younger, everything is so expensive. And now that I've got one, what if I need this down the road? So I hate to get rid of anything, but now that I'm getting a little bit older, it's a little bit easier for me to say, I haven't used that in 10 years. Maybe it's time for that to just go away. So that's I guess a phase that we kind of go through where, I don't want to have to buy another one. So I'm just going to keep that because I don't want to have to buy one again. But now we're all right. Well, that's sat around for a really long time, and I don't see it getting used anytime soon. So if I have to buy another one, then no big deal. I think that there's a point at which our economic situation changes and allows for a certain amount of that.
Well, we get wiser as we get older too.
Yeah, you could say that, but I'm not sure it's true. What do you think?
I agree. We've been in a little bit of a purge kind of for the last couple of years. When we moved from Woodstock, had a ginormous house here that we didn't need, but it had more stuff in it than what could fit in the house that we bought in Blue Ridge, and so we've been doing the same thing that Flip's talking about. Lot of donations. We make a lot of runs to drop stuff off at Goodwill. I've made more runs than I can count to the dump where stuff's just not worth donating.
Right.
But it won't burn in my burn pit, and my trash guy won't take it.
Right.
So I get it. I think.
Oh yeah.
I think getting rid of stuff makes you feel a little lighter, a little happier. You're not tripping over it, having to clean it up, losing it, breaking it, everything else. But then there's the other side of me that there's still things that I enjoy. I like to play with things. I like to tinker.
It's nice to have some stuff to tinker with. You know, I've got this wood shop out here that's basically unusable because there's so much stuff cluttered in there. But wouldn't it be cool if you could just go out there and put something together, build a birdhouse in half an hour, or
Right.
you know, put a few pieces of scrap together and make a box for a radio, or you know, a little shelving unit to put your some equipment in, some speakers and some radios and power supplies, and make a nice little enclosure for your stuff. And we could do those kind of things if you could get to the equipment, but there's so much stuff just piled on and not put away, and I really do need to spend some time out there in that shop and get that cleaned up and good to go. And that's part of the trouble I have is, you know, I got boxes full of stuff that it's been pretty handy to have, but you know, when, where, how am I going to deploy? Am I ever going to? Let me break.
I might need this.
Yeah, so all of those things kind of come into play. Mike, take a look at the YouTube comments and see if there's anything in that chatter that we want to bring to the airways. Anybody make any gift suggestions from those conversations?
Yeah, there was some good discussion earlier on with support for some of the things that Ed was talking about. So Larry from Colorado was chiming in his ideas on the SDR, that it can do shortwave and AM broadcast and a whole host of other things in addition to what Ed was talking about. And then Anti-Proton, I'm not sure your actual name, but Anti had a good recommendation for shorter antennas for HTs, and I loved that one because I just got 2 of them in the mail today that I ordered from Jim at Chat Radio. Small ones that I use with hotspots. I don't need a high gain, tall antenna that I'm banging on the monitor on the desk or anything like that, but just little short stubbies that I'm running on a half a watt or 1 watt. Those short stubbies are fantastic.
Yeah, I've got mixed feelings on accessory antennas for HTs, right?
Yeah.
So on the one hand, I kind of, well, here's the bottom line is I've got a box, a little shoe box. It's got 8 or 9 little HT antennas. I have no idea which ones are which. They're not marked for what frequency they're good for.
Yep.
They're not marked for what radio they belong on. And so if I just leave the factory antenna on the radio, then I know that I'm not going to be transmitting into an improperly tuned antenna. So, and if I take an antenna off a radio and I don't label it in some way, which you know, that's why I have the problem I have, then I end up with, okay, what's this one for? So now what do I have to purge? Do I have to get rid of these things?
Well, it sounds like you need
put them on an analyzer to see what
you
they
need
are?
a new tool to analyze them, so you can get find out what they are. Then a labeler to label them, so you know what they are.
That sounds like a whole project.
Well,
so yeah, that's what I've got as a box full of projects. And one of these days I'll get around to it, but we'll see. But good stuff. I think that there was also some comments in the YouTube with regard to our efforts at tracking, and there have been some good ideas along the way. I've not been able to read through them at depth, but I will. After the program, I'll go through all these comments, most likely tomorrow, and see if there's anything in there that we've missed. But I can assure you that of all the things that are being commented and recommended, we've done it. We've been there. We've done it. It's not just as easy as, you know, hey, you just got to do a fox hunt. Let me break. It's not that easy. And a lot of effort has gone into this. A lot of people have been engaged in this, and resources beyond North Georgia GMRS. So the FCC hasn't done their portion, but other agencies have and are engaged. So it's not for lack of doing it, and it's not for doing it wrong. It's and I appreciate the comments, but I just want people to rest assured that we're doing it, and we're at it. This isn't something that we're just allowing to happen. So that is the end of our roster. There's a handful of YouTube check-ins here that I have not acknowledged yet. So let me go ahead and grab those. We've got Chattanooga 84 Jim in Hickson. We have Rome 11 Mark in Adairsville. We have Atlanta 379 Scott in Sandy Creek, New York. We have Chattanooga 190 Clifford in Culleoka, Tennessee. That's the end of the roster.
And give us a like on YouTube too. Your YouTube check-ins.
Yeah, guys, if you could do that, I appreciate that, and share the page with anybody that you think might have an interest in what we do. Even if they don't like what we do, they might still want to see.
Still want to watch.
Why are these guys? Who these guys think they are that can link all these repeaters? You get the word out, and there again, if you don't think that we should do what we're doing, let the FCC know. That's the right thing to do, and I promise you that they've already heard, but that's where things stand. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and open up the floor for any questions or comments or any late check-ins. Net Control standing by.
Comment from Atlanta 297.
Comment Atlanta 849.
All right, we did hear a carrier with no audio off the Watkinsville machine. So if someone was trying to check in from over there, you're hitting the repeater just fine. There just wasn't any audio. So we did hear the dead key, but we did not hear an actual check-in. But we did hear Atlanta 297 Matthew over in Ackworth with a comment, and Atlanta 849 Pamela in Duluth with a comment. So Atlanta 297, let's go ahead with your comment.
Thank you, gentlemen. Just a quick comment about the inaugural NGARA net. You mentioned that people could listen to it, but the frequencies and the tones are not published anywhere to my knowledge, and I don't want to risk any operational security by having you broadcast them over this net, but is there a place to find those frequencies and tones?
Yeah, if you go to the NGGMRS website, there is a link to NGARA from there, or you can just punch in ngara.net, and you can get there that way. And you can, let's see, that is just a list of the sites. I think we have our frequencies published. It may be that you have to send an email. Let me see if I can find. So we do have a coverage map, and we've got a link to repeater list. We do not seem to have a list of frequencies on the repeater list. So,
Are they in the repeater book? I thought
they probably would be in repeater book. So, there we go. There we go. There is. Oh no, that's. That's interesting. Those are GMRS repeaters. Yeah, good question. Repeater book is probably your best bet. Are you looking to see if they're in repeater book?
Yeah.
So we're gonna check that out. That might be your best bet. We're not gonna publish the frequencies. Or the tones, the PL tones to access the repeaters. That will be held privately, but the frequencies should be available in repeater book. They probably will be available on our website.
Yeah, there is a tab. Let me pull this up for Gary.
Okay. So with that in mind, the comment's been made a couple of times about, North Georgia GMRS, and are the privacy codes made public? And yes, they are. In North Georgia GMRS, the privacy codes are public because, let's face it, if we didn't publish the privacy codes, there's a lot of brand new GMRS folks that would never figure out how to get into the radio. So GMRS is an entry-level kind of a radio platform. There's a lot of folks that's first experience in two-way radio is because they got a GMRS radio for Christmas, or they got a GMRS radio because they saw one at Walmart, or they found one on Amazon, and they don't know anything about programming the radio. So, and we've heard the story from countless members who have their very first radio. They hear us, and they know that they're on the right frequency because they can hear us, but when they key up, nobody answers back. And what a bunch of jerks these people are, that they won't answer me because I am trying to call out, nobody answers. Well, we make that information public for people like that. So you can come to our website, you can learn how to use the PTT properly. You can learn that there's an offset, and that there's a transmit frequency and a receive frequency, and you can also learn that there are tones. And so it's not always obvious what the tones are or how they're used, but at least we can give somebody a fighting chance of being able to get on the air and get there and use that. So if we made our frequencies and tones unpublished, if we didn't release that information publicly like we do,
right?
Would we be able to keep people from interfering with the network?
Yeah.
No.
Well, they'll still find it.
Yeah, they're going to find it, because on a $25 GMRS radio, you can scan for frequencies and tones.
Right.
So if you hear something and you know how to use your radio will come back and it'll show you what the tone is. Some radios will just automatically set that tone to that repeater pair.
Right.
So we can't really keep anybody out by keeping the data private. Now, in amateur radio, it's a little bit different. So, and probably people could scan for the tones in amateur radio, just like we do in GMRS. But we're not going to make that information public in the amateur side, for the reason that we don't want these novice users to stumble upon the tones and start keying up in amateur without the proper license. So we want to make that a little bit more challenging, so that hopefully by the time somebody figures out how to get the tones, that it's because they have made the effort at learning how to operate a radio properly and have found the tones, and will transmit properly licensed.
So they are definitely on Repeater Book. Even on the first page, under linked systems, there's a tab for North Georgia Amateur Radio Association, and that will give you click on it, and it will give you all the frequencies.
Okay, all right, there you go. Repeater Book is going to be your source
for
those repeater frequencies. So good question, appreciate that. And let's see, I've lost my page. I think Pamela was next.
Mm-hmm.
But did that answer your question, Matthew?
Yes, it did. I found them on Repeater Book. Thank you. Quick follow-up. The Jasper Bisky Mountain, is that on the same tower as Flagship? And hopefully, now with the shutdown out of the way, I should have my ham ticket and plan to join NGARA. I was told that if you purchased this year, it was good for next year as well. Can you confirm that?
I can confirm that. If you purchase a license, if you purchase the membership now, it will cover you for the remainder of 2025 and all of 2026, being due for renewal in January of 27. Also, if you renew your North Georgia GMRS membership now, that will cover you for all of 26, being due for renewal in January of 27. If you are a member currently and you do not renew, your membership will expire on December 31. And come January 1, if you have not renewed, your TAC number might get reissued. So just bear that in mind. If for whatever reason you're in a situation where money's tight and you can either by Christmas presents for the grandkids or a membership, let us know. You can send an email to me or to Gary at NGGMRS, Justin at NGGMRS.org, and let us know that you want to remain a member, but you can't pay right now. We'll put a hold on your TAC number so that we don't reissue that. If you don't do that and you don't renew, we might reassign your TAC number, and then when you do come back, you'll have to assume a new TAC number. So if you have a TAC number you don't like, it could be an opportunity. Okay. So yeah, but definitely your renewal will or your new membership now will cover you for all of 26. So good stuff. And what was his other question?
It is on Biscayne. The Biscayne Mountain is on the flagship tower.
Oh, that's right, right. So there's actually 3 repeaters on that pair of antennas. They operate through a combiner system. So it's the exact same antenna that we're using for North Georgia GMRS.
Nice. I did not know that.
Yeah. So the coverage, the frequencies aren't exactly the same, but they're relatively close. So the coverages should be very, very similar. So, all right. Well, thanks, Matthew. And one more time, just make sure I got everything answered for you.
Good copy. I appreciate the time. I'll keep the rest of my time to Pamela. Thanks. WJS 648-297.
All right. Sounds good. And then it'll bring us to Atlanta 849, Pamela in Duluth. Pamela, go ahead.
All right, Justin and the rest of the group, they're doing a good idea, and thank you for yielding back to me. Okay, just 2 things. We did have a great time at our yearly celebration anniversary this past weekend, and I'm going to try to get some pictures out because we had some cute pictures and a lot of fun, a little bit different than usual, so you'll want to see those. Let me break. The other thing that Ernest, I think, knows of someone that has some footage of a tower. It's still up if anybody is wanting or interested in it, but it will have to be taken apart. And I think, if I recall correctly, I think it's in the Madison Monroe area. But anyway, I can discuss that and find out if anybody's interested. I can send me an email if you want any more information at skygazerpamela849@gmail.com if anybody out there is interested. All right, and that closes it out for me. Thank you.
All right. Glad to hear that you had a great time at your lunch gathering. And a year is a great milestone. Mm-hmm. All right. So you've got some consistency there, some regularity, and that's a benchmark. That's pretty cool. And after a year, in regular attendance, regular availability, people start getting used to that time being available. And hopefully you'll have an even greater attendance in 2026. So you got one more coming up in December, and then we'll start off the new year with this round of lunch gatherings. If you're interested in hosting a lunch gathering in your area, you just do it. All right, that's what Pamela did. She found a location that had an interesting menu and enough room inside. And I don't know if she spoke with the management before she hosted her first one, but I would recommend that.
Right.
Find a time. They may not, if they're close to a school or college or something, maybe their weekends are busy and they don't want to do it on a weekend. If they're not, maybe weekends are a great time. So find out what's a good time for them, and see if you can make that work with your schedule, and then just start talking about it. Talk about it on the air. Talk about it during the net. Send me an email about your event,
we'll
and
get it on the
add it
list
to our announcements. And Tony or Mike or somebody will talk about it. During the program, and we'll make it known, and hopefully your event can be as successful as Pamela's has been. So good stuff. Hey, we're at the end of the gig, right?
Yeah, the list.
All right. So with that in mind, we're at the part of the evening where I say this concludes, and I never know what to say after that because I never have the script in front of me. Except this time.
Do you have it now?
It says this concludes the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. Tonight we had a total of
67
chickens. I think that's what we had last week, isn't it? No?
No, I think no. I wasn't here last week. I don't remember. The week before.
We had a terrible log last week. We had 3 or 4 blank places, and then we had 2 or 3 check-ins that kind of happened right as the net was closing on YouTube.
Yeah.
I had a tough time keeping up with YouTube and everything else, but we've got Mike here to
I know,
fix
Mike.
all that.
That's not going to
genius.
pass the audit.
But,
no.
There's no way.
I think that our misses got covered by the hits right there at the end.
All right.
So I'm fairly certain that 67 was our number last week.
And end of the year audits are going to be atrocious.
Yeah, well, I happen to know the auditor.
Do you?
Yeah.
Personally?
Personally.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I can make it. I'm pretty sure I can make it
smooth it
fly.
over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if I can't, then we'll just have to reconcile it against next year's.
We'll
logs.
get it next year.
Yeah. So, all right. Net control will now be returning repeaters back to normal use. Let me break. Net control will now be returning repeaters back to normal use. Everyone who signed in should sign out. Don't forget. What are we not forgetting? Like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. It helps the channel.
Facebook page.
It helps the channel to grow. It shows engagement, all of that stuff. The algorithm, whatever that means. You always hear
I don't know what
the
that
algorithm.
means.
I don't care about the algorithm.
Who's Al?
Yeah. Tune in next week on any North Georgia GMRS linked repeater where you will not hear us on the air because we're going to be having Thanksgiving with our families. But in 2 weeks, we'll be back. Do you know what our topic is going to be in 2 weeks?
No.
Looks like we're going to say thanks to the membership for continued support. So we're going to call out all of our lifetime members.
Okay.
So tune in for that. You can hear who the lifetimers are, and that'll be a fun net. A couple of interesting nets coming up. We're going to take a look at what we've accomplished in 2025, and also be looking forward to plans for 2026. Hopefully, there's not too much on the radar. And then finally, there toward the end of the year, we're going to talk about new users and navigating the FCC website.
No.
If they're back up and running, I think they will be. I think they're. So I'm hearing that the FCC is now taking payments.
They took payments today.
So if you tested and passed the test, the FCC is now accepting payments.
Well, they want your money
for your license. Well, yeah, they got to pay the rent. So they're accepting payments, and once you pay, then they should send your email with your call sign.
Yep.
So that's good stuff. All right. Thanks for allowing us to serve as your net control this evening. Good night, everyone. This is Atlanta 946, WQIR 514. My name is Justin.
And this is Blue Ridge 63, WRWM 344. My name is Mike.
And this is Atlanta 1150, WRZV 748. This is Tony.
And this is WRUB 711, Atlanta 519. My name is Gary.
We are North Georgia GMRS Network.
And we are clear.
Night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.